My name is Brian Makowsky. I am an avid outdoorsman, but I also work in VDC and BIM as my career, and I've been in that career for 20 years now, over 20 years.
What inspires you in this job?
Change inspires me. Change in technology and keeping up to date with new processes and things like that on the work side of things. I think change is a good thing and it's inevitable.
What do you think or feel when you hear BIM?
BIM stands for, I know what the actual meaning is, building information management, previously modeling, but I think what it means is to design something before you construct. And, people have always been, go and build without actually asking why we build that way, or how do we improve that? How do we, minimizing design, minimizing the impact on construction, pre-designing buildings and modularizing systems. We find the problems before we get to site. We find the problems before they become a problem, and we're solving these problems in a digital realm. So we are able to build an entire building or blocks of buildings or whatever way before the actual thing is constructed, and I think that allows us to decrease the downside cost and really focus on being proactive and really getting a good understanding about how to build a building from the ground up without having to think on our feet, without having to find a solution when it's too late to find a solution or when the solution's too costly.
Do you cook? And
I do cook.
Your favorite dish then?
To cook or to eat? There's two different answers. So I like spicy Thai food is my favorite to cook, and to eat is probably Vietnamese food. That's what I like.
What is your biggest challenge or frustration in your work?
My biggest challenge or frustration in what I do is the gap between the office and the field. So trying to bridge that gap has been one of the many challenges and frustrations of my career. I think it's progressed a little ways since I started, but I still see many field people field personnel who don't have the training in the software required to move into the digital age. I think there's some fear there and some resistance to change for a lot of people that have been in the industry a long time. I look at when, I've been around long enough I remember sketches on napkins, and they would sketch something on a napkin and go build it. Like, we've come so far and the technology's progressed so fast that some people I feel have been left behind.
What do you think is the most interesting trend in design and construction?
Good question. I'm really interested to see where everything's going to go with augmented reality. I think that's going to be, virtual reality is one thing, but when you talk about overlaying a digital world on top of real room situations where you actually have an area that is real and you're overlaying the digital, people who are doing the construction to actually visualize the build in a virtual world. Right now it's all on computer, it's on a screen, but when you put it right in front of you, it becomes alive and it becomes really easy to see kind of where everything's going. And so that to me is a very interesting time.
What advice will you give a BIM coordinator?
To really understand every trade. So I think instead of focusing on an overall, really understand the specifications about things, like what are the specifications for electrical? What are the requirements? What are they allowed to, what do they require for their clearance zones? What do they need to make their job? And then understand about the piping and just really get a good overall view of all trades. Be patient and learn as much as you can about every single trade that you're working with and kind of the ins and outs. I think people get pigeonholed in this industry a lot of times, and I think you only see your one side. And the problem is all these different parties coming into play when you're working on a big commercial job or a hospital, and you really have to be able to see things from their side, and there's always give and take. And so I think that, just being able to recognize each party's kind of where they're coming from is going to help you a lot in your coordination.